What's going on, everyone? Happy Hump Day, which is also known as Wednesday. And welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. I am one of your co-hosts, David, and today we are coming at you from our studio here in the heart of it's finally starting to cool off Las Vegas, Nevada, with our daily, only on the weekdays live shows. Before we get to the content, quick disclaimer, nothing that's said on this channel should be taken as financial advice, so please, as always, do your own research. Speaking of content, today's going to be a little different show. Today, we're going to be talking about the EU and the final draft of the Mica bill. What does that mean for crypto as a whole? Also, we're going to do our traditional market watch, some TA, and then we are going to turn it over to our community and do a little Q&A for a good amount of time. So we're excited. And I'm also excited to introduce you to the Plaster Man himself.
Plaster Man, huh?
Oh, man.
You got a nice little background there.
I know. Looks nice, huh? Chris, it's not July. It's actually October. Yeah. So. Okay, it might be July in Italy, but
You know,
USA.
we are YouTubers at heart. Cryptocurrency fanatics as well.
And interior designers.
What we are not are men of construction, carpenter,
Tile cutter.
And
Blaster.
And if at some point in the show this wall falls down and lands on the back of his neck, it is real stone, and probably the last
Listen,
stream.
if something happens to me with this wall, guys, I have plenty of life insurance. There's no GoFundMe needed, all right?
Oh, that'll go viral, bro. If that thing falls on your neck,
More on YouTuber.
if that wall falls on your neck, bro.
Rocco, you're gonna have to keep an eye on this for me, all right?
That's a few thousand pounds of stone there, bro.
Yeah. Anyways.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, boring, and stale studio set and transform it into something more dynamic. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. We also do deep dives. Street interviews, which we just finished up the street interview. Should be posted this afternoon or tomorrow. Be aware of the instantaneous post time if you are checked on the notification bell. Also, subscribed also helps. And then, if you could do us a favor before we move on, we need the likes. We need the likes. So if you've not liked the video yet, first of all, let me ask you, what the hell is wrong with you? If you,
You're just all over the place.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. There you go.
It's a long night.
Yeah, man, we were here all night putting together this studio wall here.
Speaking of putting together the studio, huge thank you to freaking Kyler, man. Rocco, put him on camera. My man Kyler here. This dude, we didn't ask him. He just, Kyler, show your face. Show that beautiful face there. So if you guys are not familiar, you obviously know Rocco. Kyler's in the back, also known as a Vegas free baller. He's part of the Sin City team, and he stayed till 10 o'clock last night and helped us put all this stuff up. So, Kyler, you're the man. We appreciate you. Muchas gracias.
I got a lot of...
Actually, the real plaster man is Kyler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, usually I'm the one that's like in the thick of programming because I'm like the guy that does the cameras and the lights and computer breaks and software. So, usually I'm the one like... But I didn't really do shit last night. I'll be honest with you. David and Kyler did most of the work.
That's not true.
So for one of the...
It's a team effort.
So I will say these guys picked up the slack. So I was actually holding up the wall when it was falling down several times. I was getting all irritated. I'm like, the wall is falling! I'm like holding it. Like, what do you want me to do? I was like, I don't know. Give me something. Catch the wall.
Jerry rigged the... Anyways. Robert?
All right, so real quick, let's get into our roll call. All right, so first up in the chat today, we got Marky Mark. Congratulations to you, sir. You are the proud winner of a round of applause that is electronically generated. Now, We also have Crit Cats, Nordy Guy, Stereo 2, Vegas Free Baller, Noel, Crypto Yogurt, R.A. Daniel, Jimmy, Red Man, and then we got Moby Sage, K Factor, Yazin, Breakfast, and then we got Robert Salazar, and then Crypto Neck. Oh, we haven't seen Crypto Neck in a while. Welcome back, brother. And then Lala, Why You Loud Gang, Hindi, and then rounded out, we got Fino, Sir Babe, and then Crypto Muscle. What is it? You know, we hadn't seen Crypto Neck or Muscle for a few shows, and they both pop up at the same time. It's like it's gym day up in here or something. Now we also got Crit Cats. Oh, no, I already got that one. And then well, who am I missing here? HP and Strictly Sports rounds it up. If you're new here and you're watching, make sure you say hello so we can drop a hola, and Anime's in here as well. One day I'll figure out how to say that name.
Which one is it?
Anime. You watch anime? So today, guys, we're gonna briefly go over the crypto news, and we thought it'd be nice to give back to the community and see what kind of questions you have. And it doesn't even have to be related to crypto. Whatever you can, your imagination can come up with. If you want to know what David's shoe size is, or perhaps
say pass.
Or if you're curious on Rocco's how he got to America, that's an interesting story. That's the question I want to know. So and then we got Hourglass. Hola, welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Hourglass. Let me see what's their real name. Oh, it is Hourglass.
It is Hourglass, yeah. So
check this out.
What you got?
Your bald tire is watching you drop 1,000 on an NFT. Guys, you guys should be following this guy, NFT Hawks, on Twitter. Pretty funny stuff, man. This dude's memes are on point.
Can we let him know he's been on our show several times?
I will DM him.
Like, hey, in case you weren't aware, we've put your memes out on our show many times.
Anyways, all right, Robin, you ready? Market watch.
Yeah, let's go. All right. So taking a look, we have Bitcoin coming in at $20,204.58. Nice little rally from yesterday. We went over 20K. We tested it, came back under, bounced over the top again. And so are we in the flippening? We now reverse directions on the 20K line. Quite possibly, especially when you look at the traditional markets here. We are down in NASDAQ by 0.5%, but yeah, crypto is up. So that is pretty positive. Now, I'm not surprised because you had such a big rally yesterday in the traditional markets, or actually the last 2 days. And so you didn't have much out of Bitcoin during that time. So figured it was going to come late. Taking a look at the rest of the crypto ecosystem, we have Ethereum kind of sitting flat where it's at. Seems as though Bitcoin is kind of outperforming the market. I know it's only up by 1.5%, but you got Ethereum at pretty flat. Same thing with Solana, Dogecoin, Cardano. Only thing that's really pumping outside of the top 10 would be XRP. And just to kind of give you a little bit insight on what the traders are looking at, we are at a nice 25 on the Fear and Greed Index. And also, as you can see here, you can buy a $6,500 Pikachu or perhaps a Venusaur for 30 grand. What would you rather have, David?
Venusaur?
Would you rather have
Venusaur.
one Bitcoin or a $30,000 Venusaur?
What are you doing, a street interview?
I'm just questioning. Obviously, this is worth more, but less liquidity. Real question. Would you rather have a $30,000 Pokemon card or a $20,000 Bitcoin?
$20,000 Bitcoin, baby. What about you?
The funny thing is I had a bunch of these. I don't know.
Unless it was like a
It had to be
Bryant
it had to be
card.
like the first edition mint or whatever, but I got my cards and actually played with them.
if there was a $30,000 Kobe Bryant card, I would take that over.
What about this $100,000 Mickey Mantle?
I hate baseball.
All right. Anyways, taking a quick look at the crypto bubbles. GMX is up. What is GMX? I don't even know what
GMX is damn it. Forrest kept talking about this.
Is GMX? Let's see here. Rank number 200, GMX, not to be confused with BMX, is you know what? I don't even care. If you guys care, let me know. Anyways, we got Helium up,
He said, I don't
Convex
care.
Finance. What are you laughing at?
What is BMX? You know, I don't even care.
And then that's all I got, man.
That's
That's all I got. I want to get into some questions here sooner
Damn,
than
that's
later.
gonna be a short ass show today, huh?
Anyways, I'll pass it over to you, bro.
Hold on. GMX is a decentralized spot and perpetual exchange that supports low swap fees and zero price impact trades. Trading is supported by a unique multi-asset pool that earns liquidity providers fees for market making, swap fees, leverage trading, blah, 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 blah. Dynamic pricing using Chainlink. So I guess it's kind of like a DEX, right? Decentralized spot exchange.
Yeah, but they do spot trades, so kind of like the loop ring style, I guess.
Yeah, this thing.
What is their base? What's the base currency or base chain they run on? Does it say?
I believe it is Arbitrum, so ETH. Got an Arbitrum contract. Man, ETH's ecosystem.
Arbitrum's is gonna be
Arbitrum. We're waiting on if they're gonna do a token drop. You know who else's token drop I'm looking forward to is Starkware. Starkware. I'm not sure exactly when. I think it was supposed to be
Tony Stark.
kind of, yeah. They're a layer 2 zero ZK proof roll up for Ethereum. Vitalik has talked about this numerous times as far as roll ups and layer 2s. And if you're like a majority of people, when ETH went to proof of stake, well, your question was, well, what's the point of layer 2s? Vitalik kind of put that all to rest when he came out and said, hey guys, even with Ethereum being able to handle more transactions, the network not getting bogged down, blah, 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 we would prefer for there to be no smart contracts ran on the layer 1, which is Ethereum mainnet. So they want everything to go through layer 2. Chicken McFry.
So we got a couple new people. We got Giovanno and Chicken McFry. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. And what is it? Chicken McFry says
Spamming emojis.
Spamming emojis. But Giovanni was saying, are we taking questions yet? We'll hear shortly.
Almost.
Just hang out for a little bit. And then we got Bryant up in here. Has he been in here before?
Right? Not sure.
Bryant. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto. Yeah, so we're going to cover a couple articles. I'd say probably about 30 minutes. We'll probably do the Q&A. I'd say rough
15
time frame. And then what was it?
I do have some charts I want to look at.
Okay, go ahead.
So let me swap over here. All right, so looking at first thing I want to look at is Bitcoin. And so this is the daily chart on Bitcoin. And you can see we've had this, I drew one trend line here, rising, and then a falling one. And you can kind of see how support and resistance play a key level. And we are pretty oversold on the stochastics here. But we're butting up against this trend line here, which is right around 20,700. I do expect, we kind of already did get rejected. But I do expect to come down on what we don't want to see is us to make a lower low. But it looks, again, that 18, if I swap over to the 4 hour, you can see that the lines I still have on here that I drew. This is positive on the 4 hour, right? Break above, come back down, retest this trend line, and then start to build support. Now, we can't say, all right, we're good. 20K is support now because we want to see this candle close above, and we want to see tomorrow's candle So this candle finishes in about 2 hours and 12 minutes. The next candle would be another 4-hour candle. We want to see since it's 4 hour, I want to see a couple more candles close above this trend line. And then what we can expect in the short term is a retest of this, which would put us right around 20,700. And then same thing. We want to have the same thing happen here that happened here. Break above, come back, retest, build on top, and then go back again. Also, speaking of Bitcoin, I pulled up the Bitcoin balances held on exchanges, and you can see Coinbase has 602,000 Bitcoin on exchanges. Net gain of close to 2,500 over the last 24 hours, around the same number over the last 7 days. But over the last 30 days, 28,000 Bitcoin has left Coinbase. In the same time frame, almost 5,000 Bitcoin has entered into Binance. And so, but you can see the 30-day change. It's pretty congruent across all platforms. It is net negative. If we take a look at the last 7 days, it's kind of right down the middle. There we go. Minus 70,000 over the last 7 days. That is the cumulative total. And then just to kind of take a look at the traditional markets, you can see here we have this beautiful, what is it called? A map. A group map. So here you have the tech sector. The biggest losers are going to be, the biggest companies that are losing are going to be Microsoft, Apple. You have Nvidia down. Oracle is up 2%. Qualcomm is up 1.6%. Going into the financial sector, you have Visa up 1%. Everything is kind of flat today. If I take a look at the groups, energy is up on the day and over the week. Energy is up 10.4%. So that includes oil, natural gas companies, basic materials. So a lot of stuff is in the green. Where it stops is real estate's in the red, cyclical, consumer cyclical, and utilities are in the red as well. Over the last month, only 3 things are in the green: energy, healthcare, and basic materials. Energy's just been pumping. Obviously, it has a lot to do with the oil and oil prices. And another thing that's a little shocking here, this is from Charlie Bilello's Twitter. U.S. national debt hits $31 trillion for the first time, an increase of 35% over the last 3 years. Wow. I mean, I believe the ratio right now is 130%. So debt to GDP on a national level, which obviously you don't be a math major to know that's not good. 31 trillion, Rob. 35% over the last 3 years increase. What are your thoughts on that?
Where was the debt at in 1983? My birth year. Does it go back that far?
No. Here in
86.
In 81, it was 1 trillion.
81 is a trillion.
86 was 2 trillion. Where it really started to ramp up was this right around, I want to say, where
the
it started
2008
going.
housing crisis is probably...
Yeah, because all these are like 2 years apart, 4 years apart, 6 years apart, 2 years, and then everything. The next thing is every single year minus 2015 to 2016, we kind of slowed down a little bit.
I feel like the politicians were like, hey,
I mean, look at
we can just print as much as we want, huh?
No,
like,
look at 2020,
writing
Robin.
checks.
We went from 24 trillion on April 2020 to 28 trillion in March of 2021. So in a matter of a year, we went from 24 to 28 trillion, $4 trillion in a year, bro.
You know what's actually the most surprising here for me is that at no point in this, since the 1980s, and probably goes back further than that, at no point did we pay our debt down, right? We've only taken on more debt.
Well, yeah.
And so, but here's the thing. Like, you got credit cards, right?
No.
Okay, we all have credit cards. At some point in time in our lives, you've probably paid your credit, even if you're crappy credit, at some point in time in your life, you've probably paid your credit cards down. So you owed a little bit less at some point, right?
Yeah.
Not America. I mean,
that's
not the US of A. They're just like, all right, how much do we owe? Let's add some more on there. Like, should we pay some down? Like, nah. The sad part. So here's the thing.
This is national debt.
So the sad part of all of this is that throughout the course of those time, there's probably been I'd say 4 bull markets, right? where we had a lot of economic prosperity, a lot of GDP. So it's not like we were in a recession for the last 40 years and there was no opportunity to pay down your debts. And if we go back to the analogy of us paying down credit cards, just imagine if you got a new job and you made a lot more money, and then you had a crappy job for a couple of years, then you got a new job and you started you were killing it. Don't you think that at some point when you were making tons of money and you were in a bull market and there was a lot of economic prosperity and a lot of GDP, don't you think that you would try to pay down your debts at that point?
Yeah. You would think so.
Wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That I don't know. You want to... Yeah, you're good at math. I'm not. They teach us they don't teach us the metric system here. They teach us, what system do we learn? The US system. Wait, is it? I don't know. What is it called? The metric system was they use in Europe, right?
Yes.
Metric.
Yeah, that's correct.
Here, I don't know what
Here is
miles and feet instead of kilometers.
Yeah. Just random ass numbers. At least the metric system's all like uniform. Like, okay, this is millimeters, a thousandth of a meter. This is a hundredth of a meter. This is 10 meters. This is 100 meters. It's very simple. Here you're like, miles, well, it's about 1,685 feet. And
you're like, what?
You're like, what? Why?
All right, there's one more chart I want to go
like
over.
Water boils at 317 degrees and it freezes at minus 32. Like, why don't you just use 0 and 100, bro? And then my wife was telling me the other day, she was like, your guys' seasons are all mixed up. They're like, why is spring all of a sudden in like May, like in the middle of May? They're like, it's simple. They're like the beginning of the, they're like, what was it? November 1st, winter. They're like February, was it, March 1st, spring. And then it was just like at the beginning of the month. And I was like, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense.
Leave our seasons alone. What the hell is wrong with you, Rocco? Did someone give Rocco like 3 cappuccinos this morning?
I don't think he had his pastries today. Rocco, did you eat your pastries today?
Dude, that one chocolate one was bomb.
Man got a lot.
So good.
Man got a pastry inventory, bro.
Guys,
I feel like those flex fuel cars.
I like
where
how
it takes like all kind. You put ethanol in there. I feel like he's got one of those that just takes pastries. just jams baguettes in there and he just powers his car.
Hey, not too bad.
Powered by French pastries.
The things they can will always be out of gas.
If you're new here, welcome. Today's show is going to be a little different than what we normally do. We've never done this before, so we're excited. It's going to be more of a community.
We're testing the waters.
Community interaction, Q&A. We like to have a lot of fun. Typically, it's more news-based, but today we're having a little fun. So we were here till 10:30 last night, so we're a little tired, but we're still here, and we're excited to be with you guys. All right, I got one more chart I want to show. I got some good news for Ethereum. If you're holding ETH right now and you want it to go up by 20-30%, please put a 1 in the chat. Robin, go ahead and put 1 in the chat. So this is on the daily chart, guys. Okay, a couple things I want to talk about. First thing, massive bull flag, move to the upside, followed by a downtrending channel, parallel channel at that. And so this typically does break to the upside, and the way we measure the move is we would take the width of these 2 lines. Well, if we do that right now, we take this ruler instrument and we just kind of measure right from the middle here to here. You're looking at a 25% move to the upside. Well, if we were to take it and measure it from the top of this channel here, let's just say it breaks out right here. You're looking at 25%. We're looking at almost $2,000 ETH. We're looking at, and this is the level we would find ourselves at, and I'm going to draw a horizontal line here. We'll find ourselves right around $1,943. If we zoom out and see what kind of support and resistance we've got here, decent support here, although we broke below it for a little bit. This was back in June of last year and July of last year. And then we saw resistance here as early as May. And again, in August of this year. So expect it to go. Now, of course, guys, TA is all about probabilities. It's never 100% guaranteed, but probabilities say we should get up into the mid 1900s. If I hide my drawings and I'm like, all right, when is this move coming? What do I like to do? Keep it simple. What do I throw on Bollinger Bands? What do I see? Constriction. Guys, a big move for ETH is coming. Last time we saw it constrict, we saw the price move from $1,000 to about $2,000. Even if you measure the micro move here versus the macro move. Why is it so hard to select this freaking ruler? You're looking at even then, you're looking at a 54% move to the upside, which put it at right at $1,500. So, guys, this is good news. A big move is coming. Probabilities are it's going to move to the upside. It's going to move to over. I would say if we were to take the worst case scenario and it does move to the upside and it doesn't go the full 25%, I would say at least 1,750 to 1,800. And on the stochastics, we were getting to the oversold, but we never crossed it, and we're kind of settling right around 72 to 75. So, if you're looking at not financial advice, but if you're a swing trader, I'd be looking at going long on ETH, not financial advice. That's all I got.
Oh.
All right. Let's see. Let's take a look at. So there's one piece of news we're going to talk about, and it's pretty big. So Mica, or some people say Mica, the European Council officially passed the final draft of the Mica bill. Now it's important to keep in mind, still has to get approved, okay? But once it's approved, there's no changes that are going to be made to this period. This is it. So the source from the block. This is the EU's landmark markets and crypto assets regulation that was passed in the European Council on Wednesday morning. Now, this was originally brought on in June of this year. Some concerns were raised on the limitations set on non-euro denominated stablecoins. If approved, the laws will be in place at the start of 2024 at the earliest, with the stablecoin regulation gonna go into place first. So that's gonna take about 12 months from when it's passed, which they expect to vote on it in March of next year. So 12 months moving forward, you're looking at early 2024. Now, what's in the Mica bill? It establishes licensing requirements for exchanges and wallet providers. There's capital requirements that are expected to prevent the depegging events, such as what happened with Terra, as well as preventing other major liquidity issues. So I'm assuming, and I didn't get a chance to read the full bill because it's over 1,000 pages long, but there are a few things, and I'll go over that in a second. Regulators in the EU here's interesting. The regulators in the EU are awaiting the upcoming meeting to discuss regulation with the US. So they've essentially, in the bill, they've broken down this thing to 3 segments, okay? You have utility tokens, which is going to be 90% of crypto. You have asset, ARTs, asset reference tokens like stable coins that are pegged to something. And then you have e-money tokens, EMTs. So one thing people worried about with the initial draft was NFTs. They were trying to say every single NFT project has to be KYC'd. People buying and selling NFTs have to be KYC'd. Now they've kind of softened up on the stance, but some of the regulation is going to be, and if it gets passed, is going to be that when you have, and let me swap over to me here. When you have a collection, let's say 10,000, and the artwork looks the same, you're going to have to KYC. The stable coin thing, euro denominated stable coins are going to have precedence as far as regulatory over non-euro backed stable coins like US dollar, like Japanese yen. There's going to be a cap on spending, but no cap on peer-to-peer. So another thing was DeFi. A lot of people worried about DeFi, it being either overregulated or completely left in the dark, but DeFi seems to be left alone. But in the bill, there's a gray area talking about, well, it'll be up to, what's the word I'm looking for? The discretion of the regulators, whether this is decentralized and it doesn't fit in the regulation, or it is centralized and now you have to go KYC. So I know I said a lot, and I hope you were paying attention, Robin. What are your thoughts?
Why would I not be paying attention?
Because you don't pay attention half time?
What are we talking about? So the EU, man, they're making some bold moves here.
Well, a lot of people.
So yeah, I don't even know where to unbox
middle.
all this information. Okay, so the biggest one for me, obviously, you know what, exchanges, KYC. I feel like that is a no-brainer. I think that's coming whether you want it or not. So that's expected. What wasn't expected, or at least what I think would be interesting on how to implement, regulate, and control, would be the KYC on wallets. So what it sounds like is that your MetaMask, your Trust Wallet, all of these custodial wallets that are outside of the exchange are supposed to be KYC as well. And now they didn't go into detail as far as how they would KYC it or what the exact parameters are, but that's kind of the idea, is that if you're transacting every wallet, KYC, how are you supposed to do that? How are you? Okay, here's a better question. Let's take away MetaMask. Let's take away Trust Wallet, and let's do a thought experiment. How are you supposed to KYC a Bitcoin wallet address? Okay. I'm just saying, like, straight up, like, you're running a node, you got a Bitcoin wallet address. I'm not talking about, you know, your wallet address, your Bitcoin wallet address on Coinbase. I'm talking about, like, you straight up plug into the Bitcoin network, you got a wallet address. How are you supposed to KYC that, bro?
I don't know. Okay.
You can't. You literally can't. And so
I don't think.
Okay, so there's that. Then there's, if a platform is decentralized, let's take the Daedalus wallet, Cardano. At this point, hands are off the steering wheel. Are they going to go in, change the code to a decentralized wallet and incorporate KYC? Or do they say, hey, the code is what it is. It lives on the internet. People decide to use it. That's my curiosity. And are they going to try to ban wallets that don't fit in line with KYC for the simple fact that it's so decentralized, nobody can implement KYC? That's my first one. And then I don't really have. Then I'm interested. They're trying to ban algorithmic stablecoins, right? Essentially,
they didn't say that. The U.S.
Well,
said
they are saying that they don't want the depegging situation that you had in the Terra Luna.
Correct. And here's the other thing they're doing.
And so
real quick, and I'm gonna give you some context here. So essentially, anyone that does an ICO will be considered a utility token and will have to submit a white paper to the regulators, and the regulators will then approve it or not approve it. What are your thoughts on that?
I was gonna get to that.
You were? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you saw that or not.
So, question is, so they're trying to ban algorithmic stablecoins, right?
I guess I don't.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they're trying to stop the depegging.
But I don't know if they're trying to ban it or if they're trying to regulate it more or put more restrictive.
They're trying. From my understanding, I was reading through some articles. From my understanding, they're trying to cut that out. No stablecoins. No algorithmic ones. That's what looks like the direction. And then, what was the question you asked me?
Anyone that's doing an ICO, essentially, they have to submit a white paper to the regulators.
So basically, they want you to register in the same way that the SEC would like you to register. Now, this is with the EU, so it's not their markets, their financial markets, but more of a KYC on project.
Here's what I took from
how
it.
you going to stop where I'm at is like, how are you going to stop a decentral if I launch a token on Binance Smart Chain, then how can you stop it?
Here's the thing. There's too much gray area, in my opinion, especially when it comes to DeFi. Decentralization will be on a case-by-case basis. That just leaves the door completely open and no one has any idea. The second thing I thought was very interesting is they're going to wait for the meeting with the U.S. And so we've talked about this all the time. They want a global cryptocurrency regulatory framework. And it's sad that the U.S. isn't at the forefront, and it looks like the EU will be. Could that be that could be a net good thing, because crypto is borderless, and if every jurisdiction in the world has the same regulations, and they're like sensible regulations, they don't restrict innovative, the innovation of these developers and these platforms, then that's great. But in my opinion, it has to be black and white. There's so much gray area. Like, it's up to the regulators to decide what's decentralized. Like, at any point, they can change. No, this is not decentralized. But what I do like is they broke it down to 3 tokens: utility, asset reference, and e-money tokens. Okay? Because they all do different things. You have to submit a white paper into the regulators. I don't really have an issue with that. Do you have an issue with that?
Yeah.
What's your issue with that?
Why? What if I want to start a meme coin? Gotta send a white paper.
Submit your white paper.
That's control, bro.
I mean,
what's next? Submit a white paper, and now you got to get it approved. Obviously, here's the thing: you're sending the white paper. It's not like you're sending it for filing paperwork. It's not like you're ready. You know what I mean? Like, at some point, you're submitting a white paper, and then somebody's making a decision on whether or not you're available to go for launch, right? So, what is the criteria for what the white paper is supposed to entail?
Can you launch the project somewhere else? Like, if I want to go to Singapore because they don't require.
Yeah, I mean, it's
document.
the internet. You can launch it where the hell you want.
Well, that's the thing, is if it becomes a global regulatory body or regulatory,
but they're EU.
I get it, but I'm saying the IMF, all those guys want a global regulatory environment for cryptocurrency. They want everything to be equal.
Here's the thing: when regulation pops up, exchanges pivot. So you can't list this in the US. Cool. We'll make a Binance.us. If there's money to be made in other countries, you best believe the exchanges are going to offer a product in a way that they can do it. You can't sell it in Europe. You're going to have Binance.eu. That's what you're going to have. And then they're going to operate in the other countries and offer other services. And then what's going to happen is that you're going to have innovation, and you're going to have markets that aren't available in certain countries, and they're left behind. Because this is innovative, disruptive technology that we're going to use in the future to better our lives and our civilization. And if you're unplugged from the network, you're going to miss out.
What was interesting is someone said, hey, this could be a good thing in the fact that, EU law supersedes any country law. So France has a law about crypto, but the EU has already passed a regulatory framework. The EU's regulatory framework for crypto will supersede that of France. And so what people are saying is, if it goes the way they think it is and they don't make any changes, which they're not going to, and it works out the way they say it is, then this could be a positive, because now when someone wants to launch in France, right, 27 countries in the EU, instead of having access to just one and going through regulation in France, regulation in Italy, regulation here, you'll have regulation across all 27 European states or countries. So there you go. All right, Robin.
That it?
That's all I got.
Okay.
All right, I'll take the first question. Broke Yoshi asked a question about TA. Will you find that, Rocco, real quick? It was, why
don't you let Rocco put the questions on the screen, and then we'd...
Yeah, but I saw it. It was up a little higher. So it was, there it is right there. What have you found to be the best TA pattern trading? So when I first got into TA, I put 50 indicators on there, and I would research all the indicators and this and that. And I learned that the simpler you keep it, the better trades you make. So the first thing I do, and I'll kind of talk through this talk about this as I walk through an example. Here, let me throw let's put a stock chart on here. Let's put Tesla on here. So what I like to do, and let's get rid of all these drawings. Let's go to the daily chart. first thing I like to do is take a look at a cluster of candles. And so what I do, my theory is, not my theory, but each candle represents people. And so when you see candles that have large bodies and no wicks, it's pretty, like this day was a very strong bull day because it didn't wick down once. So there was no selling pressure that was there enough to push the price down. And we closed near the high of the day, which is very strong. And then I look, all right, what was the next day? Same thing. Okay, looks like we have a strong trend in place. Then I like to switch to Heikin-Ashi candles. And with the Heikin-Ashi candles, you can see it's a cleaner look, and what you can see a trend start to slow down when you start getting smaller bodies and longer wicks. And the idea is trend is strong when you see smaller wicks and bigger bodies. The next thing I like to do is I like to throw on my Bollinger Bands, and I look at my Bollinger Bands and I'm like, all right, is there a move coming? What's going on here? Are we trading towards the top of the lower end of the Bollinger Band? Here, like we're trading at the lower end of the Bollinger Bands. And if we take a look at the candles, looks like yesterday was a day. And by the way, when you see small body long wicks, tug of war, bulls and bears bulls push the price up, bears push the price down. They settle kind of right in the middle where the open was. So this one, for example, trading below, and everything always reverts to the mean, reverts to the average. So this is not going to keep going down forever. Plus, if I were to look to short this, I would kind of look at what are the most recent support, and you're looking at $208. And so if I were to put a short trade on this, I would set my stop loss right around $210. Anyways, I'm kind of going all over the place because I like talking about this stuff. But next thing I do is one of my favorite charting techniques is the Ichimoku cloud. So this is Japanese charting techniques, takes 5 moving averages, plots them in here, and then you can kind of see what's happening. 5 things. So what we want to see, let's say I wanted to long this, right? I would wait for the price to move above the cloud because the cloud acts as support and resistance. You'd want to see the baseline, which is the red, be below the blue line, which is the conversion line. And you want to see this lagging indicator here, which goes 26 days backwards. You want to see that above the price. So once, and I'm comfortable going 4 out of the 5 indicators showing bullish for me to go. So that's kind of my progression. But the thing to always remember when you're doing TA, guys, is remember each candle, and that's why people use candle, each candle is a group of traders. It is how they're feeling about the market. If you're seeing giant wicks and thin bodies, that means they had no idea volatility was there, volume was there, but no one could take control of the market, so the price closed where the price opened. When you want to get in is when you see the big candles, the big bodies. So that's just what I got. All right, Robert,
we got a lot of questions. We got a lot of questions. I'm trying to squeeze them all in here before we end the show. All right, now let's go. I pinned one at the top for the next question, Rocco.
Yeah.
Jason's. All right. So Jason says, what's the biggest project for the next bull run? So for me, I have a couple that I've been eyeballing. So next bull run, what I'm trying to identify is projects that are that had been building, that have long time in the space. So obviously if you were around before the last bull run would be kind of ideal. So Cardano comes to mind here, especially, I think we're going to be $5 because the all-time high for them was $3 and some change. And so right now you're sitting at almost a 10x. Polygon, I think, because the gas fees and transaction throughputs aren't quite as efficient as you would like Ethereum to be. I think Polygon is going to be a scaling solution. And then Avalanche, really bullish on Avalanche and Chainlink. I think out of maybe the top 30 or 40, that would be my go-to, and Near Protocol. And then on some more long shot plays that I'm kind of looking at, the graph at number 61 on the Coin Market Cap list, probably I think you're going to get a 20x out of that one. And then a little further down, some more high-end plays. Engine Coin, they are making some moves. They're doing a lot of partnerships. Engine Coin had a big rally at the 2021 bull market. And then I really like Mica Protocol. I know I've talked about that a few times. Mica Protocol is also one of my favorites. So those are the ones I'm keeping an eye on. I honestly wouldn't go too far outside the top 100. I think there's plenty of money to be made there in that one. So, there you go.
Right. I pinned one. But, why are you so bullish on ADA? Is it the decentralization? This is old technology. The reason I'm so bullish on ADA is one, founder, right? Charles Hoskinson. The guy, I wouldn't call him level-headed, but smart dude. Been around the space for a while. They take their time, right? They're not one of these projects that come out like Solana and launch their mainnet in beta and stuff. They're not the let's launch it and fix whatever breaks chain. They're the let's make sure everything works perfectly before we launch it. And to them, it's more that he never cares about the price. They don't have VC funding. I mean, their ICO launch was, I think, one of the only ones where it didn't have any VC money, right? And so you don't have outside investors controlling your, and guys, yes, they say they're decentralized, but trust me, when you have a VC fund that's got millions and millions of dollars invested, you best believe they have a say in the direction of your blockchain and your company. And so you don't have that with Cardano. And the fact that you have over 71% of the token stake, that tells you a lot about their community. I think picking up ADA at 40 cents, guys, I mean, you're looking at a 6x just from all-time highs. And it wasn't even like, there was like no smart contracts. There was nothing built on the mainnet. And so it's only going to get better. And imagine where the price is going to go with that. So I think Cardano has a chance to be a $300-400-500 billion market cap project.
I got a question from Jay Danielo. He wants to know if David's desk fund is going to be decentralized. Right now, it is pretty centralized. I think a lot of money's been pouring in the form of super chats for David's new desk, which prompts me.
Funny, we just bought the desk.
Which prompts me into a side story here. I was looking at some desks here. So I want to know what is the chat like here. We have these are all these news desks here, and so you got the traditional curved one, glass top, and then as I was looking through these,
Look at that one.
I was looking through these, and it brought up some memories. I was like, a news desk, and I thought about it, and I was like, guys, you know who did a news segment when we first launched the channel? It was David, also known as David Don Davidson. Here it is. Right. Oh, gosh.
Hold on. October 2021. Gosh.
So, almost a year ago today.
Guys, this is literally a month after we launched the channel.
Let's take a look. Guys, if this is a little gem for you. This is David doing the news 1 year ago.
I don't know how many times I gotta tell you I don't like milk duds. They stick to my teeth. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to DR Crypto's weekly news roundup.
You turn it up.
Truly is back here with the hottest and quirkiest news of the week.
Louder.
Now, before I start, I'd like to thank the producers for bringing me back. It's been really rough. I've been bedridden and violently shaking since I was told I was being replaced. Now, with that out of the way, let's dive in with this week's biggest headline. Bitcoin comes to the big board. The first publicly traded Bitcoin ETF was launched on the New York Stock Exchange earlier this week by ProShares. It was
that's our old logo down there, DR Crypto.
With over $1 billion in volume in its first day of trading. Also, the Wall Street's second Bitcoin futures ETF, Valkyrie, launched this morning for NASDAQ's first Bitcoin ETF.
Was good.
Both ETFs are Bitcoin futures contracts traded on the CME, which, not surprisingly, have zero correlation to actual Bitcoin, just a bunch of old businessmen, 5 million daily viewers. And finally, some piece of quirky news. From the women that helped you perfectly fold your fitted sheets to Jailhouse Black Market Entrepreneur of the Year, the Snoop Dogg side chick, Martha Stewart, is launching a line of NFTs on her newly created NFT marketplace called Fresh Mint. The Ethereum-based NFTs were created in partnership with Tokens Commerce, and while they are showcased via the Fresh Mint website, the sales and auctions are taking place on OpenSea. Well, that'll do it for your weekly news roundup. Thanks for joining us. Make sure you tune in next time. We'll see you next time.
I think we should bring the news back, bro.
That was good. That was, for being our like first month in, having never done a video before, that was pretty good, man.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Where in Vegas are you guys? We are off of Tropicana and Valley View. So right by the Orleans Allegiant Stadium.
In-N-Out Burger down the street. So
Right. Should we bring that back, man?
the news segment, maybe.
Yeah. Anyways,
It was a lot of setup. You know what? I think but that was when it was just me and David, and the amount of like green screen and setup and cameras. It was
a nightmare.
Yeah, I was like, bro, let's just focus on the live show because we can't get anything going right now.
Yeah.
We still have the suit somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we still actually, yeah, we have
It's
the
hanging.
suit hanging. Yeah. And then
Here's a good question.
What's up?
Unless you had something else.
No,
to say.
good. Good.
K Factor said, how about some low supply tokens? I know Ben did a video on this, but for me, I think Quant coming out, I think at like 14.5 million. And, you know, there was some news about the Swift today and, you know, the whole CBDC thing and how they're so excited it's going to be, it's going to, you know, bridge all the global economies together, send payments like literally instantaneously. And Quant, what they have, their Overledger DLT technology, which is, by the way, patent protected. But on top of that, you have a founder in Gilbert Verdian who's worked at high level with governments. I'm talking about like the Treasury for the Queen of England. I'm talking about the, I believe it was the IRS here in the United States. And so dude's got some connections in high places, and not just the US, but in Europe as well. So could they be the leader to facilitate those, you know, because it's not really a blockchain. It's more of like a software as a service, essentially a layer zero, some people call it. So Quant is a big one for me at 14.5 million. You're looking at, I mean, easily could be a $1,500, $2,000 per Quant token.
And then, oh, I'm sorry. Were you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So I was going to say, Crick Cats asks, he has an interesting question. So what are your thoughts on what BitBoy was saying about Sam Bankman-Fried trying to kill decentralization with the Bit license? He's saying it sounds terrible. So, you know, Ben has been out there saying that he's like privy to some information that the general public doesn't know. So I can't really comment on that because I don't know what he knows. But I will say what my vibe or feeling is that, and just kind of the overall perception of Sam Bankman-Fried, dude is at core a businessman, and he's not at core a like crypto degen or enthusiast. Now, not to say that, you know, obviously he has a crypto, exchange. Obviously he believes in the future of the space. But he's looking at it from a lens of, I'm growing a business. I'm going to do what I think is best to grow the business. And I don't really care about everyone else. And, you know, I think it's a sharp contrast to what the narrative is out there on media sites. And the media site says, oh, he's bailing out all of these other platforms.
The dude ain't throwing around billions of dollars for the good of crypto, guys. Come on.
Man, that's what I'm saying, is that he's buying stuff up. He's working with regulators. He's trying to do things the old-fashioned way.
Let me ask you this question.
You know, old-fashioned way is Apple style, where you just buy up all the competition.
If you remember, FTX bought a stock company, right? Or was it Webull or E-Trade or Help Us Out Community? It was one of these, and so they're integrating that. I mean, could FTX be the very first licensed crypto exchange that's registered with the SEC? I mean, what do you think? You think it's possible?
Could be. I think out of the group of major exchanges, they're probably the most likely. Yeah.
I mean,
whether or not they will or not. But here's the thing. If you register as an exchange, then at that point, if you register as a platform that trades securities, then you know you're gonna have a hard time deciding what's a security and not a security. I feel like it'd be a bad business decision, and him being such a strong businessman, I think that he's gonna be putting his company in a tight spot by regulating if he doesn't have to or he's not forced to.
Well, all right. I think we'll take one or two more questions, but I want to ask you a question first, Robin.
Hey, boss.
You had to pick one. You got to invest 10K. Tron or Solana? Remember, Tron might not be huge in the US, but it's pretty big in Asia.
Tron.
You'll take Tron?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
Like you said, it is where it is on the coin market cap list. So Tron is number 15. So one of the big players, but a lot of this value locked up, 5 billion, does come from most of it comes from
Asia.
Asian markets. And I mean, if you look at, the popularity of Samsung, for example, you might be blinded by the fact that, hey, everyone's using iPhones in the US, but hey, you go globally and it's a stark contrast when you go overseas. And so that's the kind of mentality I like to have. If the Asian markets are behind Tron, those are, in the top 5 economies in the world. And so, yeah, I think Tron probably has more upside. I've just been turned off by Solana, I think, because their network can't stay up. And I think at some point, if they don't fix the issues, and they've had now quite some time to get this under wraps, and it's not like the founders are coming out and saying like, "Hey, we are, going to implement this hard fork to fix these issues." They're pretty silent on their issues, right?
Yeah.
And if they were at least more vocal, I mean, you hear like say Ethereum's issues where you have scaling and they've been pretty vocal. Like, okay, well, you know what? We have a roadmap. It's a pretty long roadmap. We'll address, the gas fees and the throughput with these solutions. And I feel like those solutions or those problems aren't addressed through the Solana Foundation. I mean, maybe they are, and I'm just not seeing them. But at least I haven't noticed them. So
okay.
What else we got? Who take some more questions?
Yeah, make sure to go join our Discord.
And then Cigar says
name is Sagat. Like Street Fighter?
Cigar.
Sagat.
So he says, can we have a Sin City Crypto community board on BBS Market? Web3 Social Fi. What is BBS Market? You know what that is?
No. BBS. Enlighten us, Sagat.
Yeah.
BBS
Market. Social Fi. Anyways, we're trying to branch out to more platforms. So I'm curious.
Yeah.
And then anybody else got questions? I'm not seeing any
XRP?
questions.
I like XRP. When we first started doing our lives, I was like, XRP doesn't excite me. XRP doesn't excite me. But I have my blinders on. So what XRP is going to do, their XRP ledger, the NFT thing, it being so global, it's only a matter of time. The court case settles. XRP comes in 5-6X's almost right away. So that's all I got, man.
So I got a question, man. So Rocco, how did you end up in the U.S., man?
Wow.
Did you come over here in a ferry
Make
boat?
sure to put yourself on
sailboat?
So it was a very
Put yourself on camera.
yeah,
man.
of course, yes. It was a foggy night, and it was very sad. It was all this kind of big storm.
Hey, a
coming
foggy
over.
night.
Well, I flew it over.
You're not telling a Christmas story, bro.
No, I thought it was raining.
It was a foggy night.
Okay.
The
foggy
moon
night.
was shining.
It was the night
Santa Claus
before the
was a
San
foggy
Martino festival.
San Martino Well, we had the Barolo Festival and the White Truffle Festival, and I decided to travel overseas to sell the truffle here in the
I don't know.
United
Is he
States.
being serious or you're joking, right?
Yes. But I come from the region where there is the Barolo and the truffle. So
Yes.
anyway, so I came over here, like everybody else, to see, traveling and discovering. That was a long time ago. I was in my mid-20s. And then I came over and liked it, and that's history. And I decided
Why
to
did
stay.
you? And I'm not asking this question with
Why here in the States?
why did you decide to stay here?
Well,
What was it about the U.S.? Because real quick, Robin, were you born in the U.S. or were you born in?
Yeah, I was born in the U.S.
You were born in the U.S. I was born overseas. Rocco was born overseas. Kyler, Montana. So he was born here, and I feel like the people take for granted how great really this country is, and a lot of I'm not saying USA is perfect, but my parents, and I'm not trying to take a spotlight away, Rocco. Just
No, it's
make
all
this
right,
quick. My dad gave up like one of the highest paying jobs in Sweden, gave up the house he paid for, and started all over in a country in a language he did not know how to speak. And the dude used to go. He used to go school in the morning to get his license for HVAC. Then he would go work to make money. Then at night he would go take English classes. And so these are the sacrifices people make from other countries. And Sweden's not a horrible country. It's not like we were fleeing war. But it's like he told me, I remember this. He said, I wanted my kids to be able to be and do whatever they wanted to be when they grew up. So I don't know if you have a kind of a similar story, Rocco.
Yeah, that's one word, opportunity. So when I came over here, I see a completely different world. I traveled a little bit in South America and Central America before coming here. So I kind of see Italy is not a bad place to live, really.
Right.
You have it's not the best. I mean, you have all the comfort that you
nowhere's
find,
perfect, yeah.
but the difference is bureaucracy, opportunity is definitely way better here. So here you can open a business in 15 minutes. You go online, create a LLC, you want to do whatever you want. You can do it. You can do it in Italy too, but you have to have money or somebody that knows somebody else. That's all the bureaucracy, and that's the stuff that bothers me. When I come over here, my family comes from a restaurant background, and I saw a lot of places that were doing restaurant. I say, why don't do something like that here too? That was so simple. So anyway, this was pretty much a shortcut in there.
Like I said, it's just interesting that people who come from overseas, they see America in a different light than the people that have lived here their whole lives or were born here. So
I mean, here you have the chance if you want to work, and let's say I want to build something, and you need $100,000. You work 3 jobs, and you break your back, and you put your money aside, and you decide to do whatever business you want to do, and you do it. If you are in Italy, it's going to take a 3 lifetime because there is no 3 jobs you can do. I mean, there is probably one if you like it, or if you come from a family, they kind of gave you some money. I mean, they built up something on the 60s,
right?
And they bought their own house or something like that. But when you come overseas, you can do all of the above in a very short amount of time if you want to. If you work, I know it's kind of always the same story. If you work hard, but if you come from a place that is not here,
I mean,
you see the difference.
Look at us, right? Every single person in the studio right now comes from the restaurant industry. And we have the capabilities to be able to go into a completely different sector of the world of business, learn, and through hard work and dedication, we're not there yet, but we know we're going to be there, is to be successful business people and, turn this YouTube channel.
We'll knock out some rapid fire questions here. Real quick, it seems like a lot of them are token based. So thoughts on Theta? Go, David. I'll give him mine afterwards.
I love Theta. It's just going to take mainstream adoption. But what they're trying to do, I mean, if their thing catches on and content creators and viewers start moving to Theta,
I think the next bull run
TV
is still going to pass Theta. If you want to get in now, I think it's probably
hold for a while.
I think I would be 5-year hold on this.
Yeah.
I think just the streaming. I think the Helium is a good example. Helium and Theta. I just think the adoption of the technology and
but if the
it being
adoption's there, guys.
But I think the
adoption
adoption of the technology, I think is just, it's not going to come in a year and a half where all of a sudden everyone's ditching YouTube and watching videos on a blockchain and ditching your traditional service provider and going with a Wi-Fi that's DeFi. So that's my thoughts. I think it has tons of potential. Get in now, but I wouldn't expect it to pop off. At least not in comparison to the other. I think there's going to be bigger, better plays in the future. And then what else we got? There was also a couple.
Definitely, there is Jimmy. They got a double.
$5 for Robin's wall fund and $5 for David's test fund.
I like my wall. You leave it out. Nest Protocol. Are you familiar with Nest?
Nope.
Okay. Hawaiian pizza. Yes or no, David?
Hell yes.
I actually like Hawaiian pizza. It's good. You got to have that real ham, not that cheap crap. But if you get like some nice chunks of ham in there with some pineapple, I'm okay with that.
You must grill the pineapple though.
You know what? Actually, I think that's a great idea.
That's
Rocco.
a great idea.
And then,
what are your favorite things to do in Vegas? Well, I don't really go out much, honestly.
Yeah.
It's the studio, my family, making money, and but if I do go out, my wife and I, we like to go out. We like to have a dinner, and we gamble a little bit. We both like to gamble. And then our favorite show, and we've seen this show like 4 or 5 times, is Absinthe. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Absinthe. It is fire. If you're ever out in Vegas, you got to go check out Absinthe. What's your favorite thing to do, Robin? Besides not replying people's texts?
Okay, so my thing is obviously I'm here at the studio, so this is my favorite thing. But if you were new to Vegas, you're coming to visit, definitely the Fountains of Bellagio is pretty dope. That never gets old, honestly. Now that area's kind of went downhill lately. There's so many like people peddling stuff out there trying to sell you stuff. The Stratosphere, I think the Stratosphere is highly overlooked. No, I'm not talking about hanging out there, but if you go to the top of the Stratosphere, most people don't know the Stratosphere is the largest building west of Chicago, or the tallest building west of Chicago.
Cannot be talking about the Stratosphere,
bro.
Right,
it's a 360-degree panoramic view of the Strip. That same view you get when you fly in, where you fly in and you see. Because think about this: in Vegas, there's no trees. I mean, there is, but realistically, there's no like real trees, not forested areas. So when you fly over Vegas, you see every light bulb across the entire valley. So you see, what is almost 500,000 people or residents, and you see all the street lights and all the housing lights and all the business lights. And it's quite a spectacle because, you just, it looks like almost like you're lit up for Christmas, all the Christmas lights. And you get that same view at the top of the Stratosphere. And so...
Dude, over here shilling the Stratosphere.
When my friends come to Vegas,
you take them to the Stratosphere?
Yeah, I tell them we're not going to hang out there.
Yeah,
but
oh my God,
actually, it's pretty cool, man.
When's the last time you've been to the Stratosphere? Have you ever been to the top?
The elevator is cool because it kind of
and then they got a lounge up there. So my friends come in town, we go up to the top.
Just don't get stabbed on your way there.
You go to the top and you relax in their lounge. You get a cocktail. And then you just can walk around in 360-degree view, and you see the entire valley for 40 miles out, nothing but lights. It's gorgeous, man. It's absolutely beautiful.
That's crazy.
There is also a new signage. I don't know if you ever saw that, David. They install a new one. Didn't you see that? Just right by the
no amount of signage will bring.
And then also Fremont's pretty nice.
Fremont Street.
Downtown.
You just like all the
Las
ghettos,
Vegas.
bro.
No, downtown Fremont Street.
Have you left your house?
I have left my house. Have you not left your house? When was the last time you were in downtown Las Vegas? Oh yeah, when the guy shot people in there. Anyways,
it's not like that.
Literally, that's all you hear about in downtown Vegas: stabbing, shooting. This guy got stabbed. This guy got in a bar fight.
Downtown is, they have the art district. I was down there a couple of months ago. Went with Dion. We went and hang out in the art district in downtown. They have a lot of cool bars. There's some like antique places there. I was looking over and they have like those antique slot machines and like full on like big like roulette tables and things like that. And I was like,
I think El Cortez still accepting coins, right?
Cortez is a little janky.
Yeah, but you still play with the coins. I think it's the only one left.
Exactly. Don't go down there. All right. Last question.
You know what? I actually disagree, man. The strip itself, it's
okay. You know what? You're right, Robin.
Overpriced, and
right.
It's like
for sure.
It's like you go to this bar and it's like, and then it's just an illusion of
what was that hand movement
fun.
Again?
Yeah, that's just the bass just going off in your ear, and you got some ratchet ass drunk girl with no shoes on over here, like, hey. you're stupid. And then it's just like, bro, I'd rather go
Let's
and
take
have
a car
some
trips and let's
I'd
go all
rather-
three together at
yes.
night on Fremont Street. And we're gonna bring Dave in a
Dude,
bar.
you
in
see how
downtown and
you see how ugly it is when we're out there doing our street interviews, man. It's not like it's any better out there, man. Yeah, I'm over there thinking we're gonna get our camera stolen all the time, bro.
What's your favorite restaurant on the strip?
Mm.
I have two. Delilah at the Wynn,
Mm.
Catch at Aria.
Oh, good.
You been to Catch? Catch is bomb.
Yeah. Let's see. My favorite restaurants.
Denny's.
There's a couple.
That's a tough one, though. It's a tough question.
Yeah, man. You know, Jose Andreas. At,
Bizarre?
the one of the Cosmo, his little taco. It's like his taco
It's
slash.
the E with the
Oh no,
Jose
that
Andres?
one's the one that's like the hardest reservation to get in town.
Yeah. It's like $250 a person.
Yeah.
I heard the
No,
food's
yeah.
really good.
Bazaar Meats is phenomenal. That place is crazy good. Guy Savoy, if you want to
Savoy
go
is good.
super high end fine dining, that's a good one. I think
You mean Guy
John
Savoy?
George at Aria is pretty amazing,
There's
man.
Michael Mina at the Bellagio, too. That's, I think,
Yeah.
1 or 2 Michelin stars, I think.
Bobby Flays. I used to work for. Anyways, all right, we're done.
All right. Cool.
Okay, so that's that.
Yes.
That's
Rocco.
it.
Okay, let's go downtown.
Friends, family of friends, and friends of family, we thank you so much for joining us on this very special episode of Sin City Crypto Live. We'd like to thank you so much again on behalf of myself, the Don, Robin, and Kyler Murray. We love you guys. We will see you tomorrow for our regular show at 10:30 a.m. Vegas time. Until then, take care. Peace. Nobu is fucking overrated, guys.
Surprised nobody said
You will go to Nobu, spend $600 and leave hungry.
Nobu's good, man. You're
Nobu's
just cheap, bro.
overpriced. I'm not
I'm
fucking
surprised
cheap.
nobody said Hell's Kitchen.
Don't sweat.
Damn. you guys think Nobu's a good bang for your buck? Hell no.
They're good, man.
Bro, we'll go fucking downtown Chinatown and get fucking the same
Because you got the
sushi.
palate of a 3-year-old.
And
bro.
says the guy who burned his steak.
Dum, dum, dum.